Go ahead, Al.
Paul, what did you think about Kawhi extending his contract today, and also how might that impact you as well? Because Lawrence had talked about trying to compensate you guys, but also needing some sacrifice because of how punitive the collective bargaining agreement is in the future. So, seeing what Kawhi did today, how does that impact you as well?
I'm extremely excited and happy for Kawhi reaching a deal to hopefully make him a Clipper for the rest of his career. We'll see my situation when we get there. But, again, just happy. They got the deal done on his end. I know he wants to stay here, myself as well. When my time comes, we'll be ready for those conversations as well.
And Pete, speaking about Kawhi, I was listening to your podcast and you were mentioning Kawhi being a lifeline. I think it was after the Pelicans game when you were talking to your boys. You said him being a lifeline. When he's playing well like that, and let's say you're not shooting the ball so well, do you feel pressed and like, man, I have to kind of keep my end of the bargain when you're not playing well or you don't start the game off well? Do you feel pressed or like stressed out to try to match his intensity on the other offensive end?
No, I mean, basketball is either you make it or miss it. I don't ever put too much in it. Of course, on court you want to make shots, but I don't put too much in it. It's a long game. I always tell myself it's a long game, regardless of how I start the game off or how I finish. It's a long game, so no, I don't put too much pressure on it. I trust the process of just getting lost in the game and just continue to shoot, continue to be aggressive, and just try to make my mark defensively more than anything.
Hey Paul, you guys have collectively emphasized sacrifice quite a bit this season. I was wondering, just like the collective experience that you guys have, the years in the league, the playoffs, knowing how rare these opportunities to win a championship are, has that been a motivating factor for you guys?
Of just trying to get to the playoffs, or
No,
I don't quite understand.
Buying into the system and thinking about the long game.
Yeah, I mean, this is when you put it all into perspective and you see the big picture. We've all have been accomplished in our career at this point, other than Kawhi and Norm, I guess, on the roster. No one else has won a championship, and PJ, but no one else outside of those guys have won a championship. So for us, we understand what's at stake. Sacrifices comes to, we just want to win. We don't care what it looks like, how it looks. As long as it's a W, everybody's satisfied. We don't care about who gets shots, whose offensive night it is, or what the case may be. It's more so just finish the game with a win, and everybody's happy about that one. But when you put it all into perspective, like I said, we've all, again, are accomplished. We've quote unquote made our money in this league. We've established who we are in this league. None of that matters. At the end of the day, it's just how can we come together on a nightly basis to get a win.
Well, Kawhi was saying that you got a conversation with you and James, especially guys who have an option for agency coming up. What is obviously more of a representation thing? What's your level of optimism that an extension could be reached? Maybe this, was Kawhi maybe the first stepping stone domino to kind of fall in that kind of happening?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Securing, locking Kawhi definitely leaves the door open for myself. But very, very optimistic that something will get done on my behalf as well.
I guess, I don't know if this overlaps too much, but the last time we talked to you about your extension was training camp, and you just said, like you said tonight, I want to be here, remain here. It's just a matter of getting on the same page. 3-4 months later, is there any update on just how aligned being or close to being on that same page you guys are to get something done?
Yeah, we're working through it. We're working through it.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just got one word, Paul. I don't mean for this to be a softball, but you came here Kawhi in 2019, and you've seen how the league changes as far as the max player, those type of guys, team after team. What makes you and Kawhi so special that y'all have kept, playing together, being on the same team, leading this culture, changing how this franchise is looked at, and continue to really keep the drama to a minimum as you continue to achieve a goal that you haven't achieved yet?
Honestly, it just comes down to no egos. We genuinely like each other. I don't know if that's been the case in other situations where you have two stars. At some point, I feel, whether they say it or not, they bump heads, or one individual wants more than the other. With us, we genuinely care for one another and appreciate one another in this process and support one another. I don't think it's an ego whatsoever. I want the best for him and vice versa. So I think when you look at it from that lens, it makes it easy for us to be the cornerstones and build around. And it's just, especially at our age, I think that what stands out more than anything at our age. Usually you'll have younger guys together and you build through them, and those guys, at some point separate. But I just think you couldn't find two guys that complement each other more than myself and Kawhi, and enjoy it as much as we do playing together.
Thanks, PJ.
Let's get ready for Hoop Jab.